I get it. When you're looking at a mobility scooter, you've probably already tried a couple of budget-friendly models that seemed fine on paper, only to find the battery dies after a half hour, the steering feels stiff, or the whole thing wobbles on a curb. Those cheap disappointments stick in your mind and make you wonder if any of the higher-priced options are really worth the extra cash. That hesitation is exactly what I felt before I sat down with the Pride Jazzy Zero Turn 8. And the question I kept asking myself was, does this scooter actually solve the everyday frustrations that make people regret their first purchase? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Jazzy Zero Turn isn't marketed as a budget scooter. It sits in the premium tier where you expect smoother rides, easier handling, and a design that won't make you feel embarrassed pulling it onto a sidewalk. The first thing that caught my eye was the zero-turn claim. In the world of mobility scooters, turning radius matters more than you might think. A typical three-wheel model can need a full meter to make a 90-degree turn, which turns grocery shopping into a game of shuffleboard. The Jazzy Zero Turn's dual-motor setup, combined with the Delta tiller that lets you pivot the wheels almost on a dime, actually feels like you're steering a small car. I tried it in a crowded community center hallway, weaving between walkers and a couple of wheeled carts, and the scooter responded instantly to the light push of the ergonomic wraparound handles. That kind of confidence is a big win for anyone who lives in a dense retirement community or needs to navigate tight indoor spaces. One of the biggest complaints I've heard from owners of older models is the nightmare of disassembly when you need to transport the scooter in a car or store it in a closet. Pride tackled that with what they call feather touch frame separation. You grab a single latch on the tiller, pull, and the whole frame splits in half without needing a wrench or a second pair of hands. I actually took the scooter out of the trunk of my SUV during a weekend trip to a family reunion and reassembled it in under 3 minutes. For someone who travels occasionally or just doesn't have a dedicated garage, that convenience is more than a nice to have. It's a practical time saver. Charging is another everyday friction point. Many scooters require you to haul a heavy power brick out to the scooter and fumble with a separate port on the side. The Jazzy's charging port is built right into the tiller, so you plug in while the scooter is still upright, no need to crouch or lift heavy cables. The battery life, according to the manufacturer, comfortably covers a full day of mixed indoor and outdoor use at a modest speed of 6 miles per hour. In my own test, after a full charge, I logged roughly 18 miles of combined indoor mall strolling, a quick trip to the pharmacy, and a leisurely ride around a local park with a few gentle hills. The ride remained smooth, and the scooter didn't show any warning signs of battery depletion until the last few minutes, which is exactly the kind of buffer you want when you're out of the house. Now, let's talk about the ride itself. The CTS suspension system is a highlight. It's not a full-blown air suspension you'd find on a luxury wheelchair, but it does a solid job of absorbing the bumps you encounter on cracked sidewalks or uneven gravel paths. When I went over a small pothole in the park, the scooter's front wheels dipped without jolting the seat, and the dual motors kept traction without any lag. That makes the Jazzy Zero Turn a good fit for users who live in suburban neighborhoods with mixed pavement, or for anyone who wants to keep their weekly grocery run from feeling like a jolt fest. Who should consider buying this scooter? If you're a senior who wants a blend of agility and stability, someone who values the ability to spin into a narrow doorway, needs a scooter that can handle modest inclines, and appreciates a design that doesn't scream medical equipment, the Jazzy Zero Turn checks those boxes. It's also a solid option for caregivers looking for a reliable transport solution for a loved one who still wants to go out for coffee with friends, visit a community center, or take short trips to the doctor without relying on a car every time. On the flip side, this isn't the right choice for every budget or every terrain. The dual motor system and the higher grade suspension push the price up compared to the entry-level three-wheel scooters that sit around $1,200. If you're primarily staying inside a single-story home with smooth floors and you only need a short-range device for a few minutes of movement, you might feel the extra cost is unnecessary. Likewise, the Jazzy Zero turns 6 miles per hour top speed, while more than enough for most daily errands, won't satisfy someone looking for a scooter that can keep up with faster traffic on wider sidewalks, or who wants to cover